I did a whole video on installing it, and I lost the footage. But it works for some people, it works for some people. It didn't work for me. These just feel much cooler to me. Hey guys, it's Colin, and today we are going to be talking about all the upgrades I had planned for my IS 250. And you heard that right. The key word in this is had. So I actually got rid of my IS 250. I know it's a sad day, but that's why I wanted to make this video. I'm gonna try to at least show you guys the full list of things I had for my car that was planned, so that you guys could at least get some inspiration from it, as well as a lot of the other things that inspired me to do the IS build to begin with, because a lot of these cars look really cool and are almost 20 years old. So it's like, why not try to, share that with you all, let you have a chance at seeing what the plan was for my car. I had a few things pulled from Pinterest and YouTube that were just sort of the guiding of where I was trying to take this car. All right, so the first one I had was this picture here. This is also from Pinterest, and I'll be sure to try to link them all below in the description for y'all. So this one, it's super simple, it's super clean, it's kind of basic, but it looks really nice. And it's this one here where this is obviously has to be a wrap, because if not, this is a great paint job, right? The full frontal grille, that was never going to be the plan for my car. I was going to keep it to where it was, but probably black it out, This has the VLAN headlights, which honestly for me, hit or miss, but I was thinking of going with sort of a mix of the two, where it was up to date, but it was just from a newer model than my own, because I have a 2006. So I was probably going to go with like a 2011 set of headlights and put in LEDs into those and call it a day. They blacked out the side mirrors. These wheels look really nice. That was the issue with mine. It had horrendous wheels. I think it was kind of the same style as these, just in worse condition. But that was also a plan. I think the wheels that I was going to try to get are going to be coming up later in this video as well. But for this nice wrap, they blacked out the top. I was going to do that too. I was hit or miss on it, but I ended up deciding I was going to. And the side mirrors was kind of a hit or miss as well, because I was like, if this is already blacked out, then it's one of those things where it's like either you do the side mirrors or you do the handles. And I was just like, I'm probably going to do the handles, But overall, this one it looks nice. It's super clean, super, I don't want to say basic, but it is simple and clean. It's not overly complicated, but it looks nice. It looks almost like a car that was produced today. So that's why this one kind of inspired me to get the car build going. Here, next video, or next image. This one has to be an ISF. It just has to be. But these wheels, super cool. I think this is obviously a staggered build since it's an ISF, but these are the kind of wheels that I was kind of feeling. It was these, or I think it was like a 5-spoke set that I was looking at, but that was kind of what I determined. I think these go for like 1,000. I don't have those numbers in front of me, but it was something up there. But these are the kind of headlights I was talking about, where it's kind of old, but it still looks nice. And I was just going to replace the bulbs with some LEDs. That was the kind of vibe I was going for, where it fits the car. It doesn't feel like you're trying too hard kind of thing. But this blue is a bit darker than I would have gone for, but this is a really nice blue. And this is the kind of blacking out of the grille that I was talking about, where it's not the same standard grille, but it still looks nice. It's blacked out. The emblem looks amazing here. This is like literally the kind of front of the car I was hoping to get. But for mine, I had the 2006, so my fog lights that had that kind of like that like little curve to it, and I was gonna turn those LED as well. But if I was able to find a different kind of bumper conversion that would turn it to the 2011 version of the IS, I would have definitely done that. because I think I was going to have to replace my front and rear bumper regardless if I wanted to wrap it. So, because I think the front one had just a bunch of dents and gashes in it from rocks hitting and whatever, and then the back bumper had this like huge gash in the middle, and I was looking at ways to take care of it. It was like, I'm better off just buying a new bumper. But back to this car. They obviously lowered it. I was never gonna lower my car, ever. I feel like, because I lived in Tennessee, and I'm not sure if you guys know, but Tennessee has a lot of potholes. They've been getting better at it, but it has a lot of potholes. So not even on the radar for me to try it. Has side skirt, front splitter. Love both of those. I feel like I would break those somehow. I don't know how, but I would. I can feel it. Those are the two things I'm feeling on this car as well. I don't think I would have done that for mine. Then again, I don't know how. Depends on, after the build gets to a certain point, I probably would have decided to do that, you know? But, nah. But that kind of sums it up for this car. Alright, next car. So, it's not a car, or what? It's not a car build, but it is going back to something I was trying to do actually. I did try to change out my radio, and there's like 3 radios that are specifically on the market for IS 250. It was this version, the one I had gotten where it's kind of expensive but not really, and then there's a cheaper version. I think it's like 201 something, and there the 100 something radio was all right. It was kind of it was more obvious of a aftermarket thing, but it didn't have the AC buttons to where you could defrost your front and rear windows. So I was like, I kind of need that if I'm gonna be living in Tennessee, you know, because it gets cold up there, and you know, your front windshield starts frosting, and same thing with your back window. So I was like, I kind of have to have it. So I couldn't do that one. The second one, the one I ended up going with, did have those buttons, but the radio was not working correctly for me. And the thing, even the worst part is, I did a whole video on installing it, and I lost the footage. I completely lost the footage. I have pictures to show that it actually happened, but I lost the footage, and I feel like it's more helpful than a lot of other installation videos that I had seen, just because you had to almost go to 4 different videos to get an idea of exactly where you were putting things in. At least from my experience, I could just be dumb. That's not off the table here. But my experience in putting in the radio was not ideal, and it still didn't end up working correctly. So I took it out and put it back the standard one. And then you have this one here, the Tesla style version, which kind of cool, kind of a little too much for me, especially on the age of the car, but it works for some people, it works for some people. It didn't work for me. I wasn't feeling the style of it. It looked like it was trying too hard, and it didn't look natural to the car. The one I felt like I got felt like a radio that was out of a ISF, where the bezels on it looked more natural to the car, you know? Hey, so I had gotten, while I was editing, I had realized that I had talked about telling you exactly what I was going to put in my car, and I got to the middle of the video editing it, I was like, I didn't really list out what I was putting into the car. So I'll do that now, and then on the screen I'll have exactly what I was planning on buying, at least to help you get an idea of where I was going with my car. Plus, it'll probably help you on searching for things such as pricing out stuff too. But like I said in the video, I'll have all this linked into the description, so if you want to check it out for yourself, you can do that. If not, whatever. So some of the stuff I was looking at is, I have a list here. Brakes and rotors, exhaust, catch can, air filter, splash shield. Exterior wise, rear and front bumpers, because mine had gashes. Fix the trunk, do a car wrap, new wheels, tint, front lip, spoiler, front lights, headlights and fog lights, tail lights, and puddle lights, which also did a video on earlier. Interior wise, it's going to be a CarPlay radio, interior lights, shift knob, wrap the wood trim, steering wheel or steering wheel wrap, floor mats, and a coin holder because it's just such, I don't know, I just needed it. And then an honorable mention was having the door panels replaced, just because mine looked bad and the person who had the car before me did not do the recall stuff to have a new dash and door panels. Yeah, all that should have been popped up on the screen. I have links to it in the description. Yeah, alright. Just thought I'd add that so you guys can see it for yourself. Alright, let's back to the video. Alright, we're back with the chunky spoiler. But these are the taillights I was going to go for. These are, I think, also VLAN, but these are inspired by the 3rd generation taillights, which I could kind of justify a little bit more. If it's only 1 generation up, okay, you know? But once you start jumping several generations up on a car that's from 2006, a little much. But this I can understand. And it's lowered for sure. They kept the reflectors, which some people don't, but I mean, I don't know, it feels like a more actual like manufactured car opposed to a project car, you know? Tinted, but these are the kind of taillights I was feeling. It's LED, looks, you know, sleek, fits well. You change up the color and it looks even cooler. I don't know. These just feel much cooler to me. Last one. Okay, so this one, it just feels like a very complete car. These are the other set of wheels I was gonna go with. So it was these as well as these that I was feeling. VLAN headlights, splitter, side skirt, nice wheels, painted calipers. Has to be I don't know about has to be a wrap, but that paint was definitely given a little spit shine for sure. Long front bumper conversion. It looks really cool. Let's see it play out a little bit. But this is one of the, like I said, these are just one of those cars where it's a lot of stuff that's just simple, but it looks nice. They kept the chrome, they tinted the windows, yeah, and they lowered it, which, like, you see he almost hit the curb. I'm not trying to do that every time I pull in anywhere, you know? There's a spoiler. VLAN taillights that I like, small spoiler. I think that might be the spoiler that comes with the car, but I think you can get a off-brand, not off-brand, but just a spoiler that is that size. Those are kind of the things that I was feeling for this car that I had. But like I said, you guys could look at the list that I have going down on the bottom of the description. Check out some of the stuff, see if you feel it. If you're not feeling it, you know, whatever. But yeah, I did, like I said earlier, I did get rid of my IS250. In the next video, I'll be giving a full tour of the new vehicle I got. Maybe you guys will stick around, maybe not totally get it. But that's the video. That's the car that I used to have. But hey, appreciate it if you stay with me for the IS build. Hopefully you're with me for the next car build. So I'll see you guys later.